Telltale has the reins to the new Game of Thrones game, and for once I can actually say, hell yeah Telltale, that's what I want, that is absolutely fantastic, and that is a brilliant thing to have happened to Game of Thrones. Hi guys, this is Cal with the Open Games Network, and I'm sure I'm not alone in supporting this because the last Game of Thrones game was possibly one of the worst games ever made, and I would actually like it if everyone would just send me their copies of that so that I can burn it in my back garden. That would be a fantastic thing to do. Now, why do I think it's okay for Telltale to do this and not do Borderlands? Well, Game of Thrones is story-based, and Telltale pride themselves on being a story-based content creator, and for this type of game, I'm going to say, yeah, it would be fun to have a story, a real proper story, and not worry so much about the combat and shit like that. It's okay for Game of Thrones. I mean, it's story driven, and that's what it is. It's not like The Lord of the Rings. You can't go off and make all of the action-packed stuff from it. It wouldn't lend itself to that, and we know this from the last RPG that they tried to make. They could have done a Conquest style thing where you'd have had loads of battles, but it would have been so removed from Game of Thrones that you could have stuck a different name on it and not had to pay the royalties, and that's probably what they would ultimately have done. Now, if this goes well, they could release loads of DLC, and this could be absolutely fantastic, and all of us Game of Thrones fans will be eager to buy this. I certainly will be buying it. As long as it gets some sort of decent reviews, and I'll get a look at it, because the last one, as I said, was terrible, but this is a better developer, more suited to the kind of franchise that this will be. What I will say though is that it could go horribly wrong if they simply use the show as a basis to build upon, and then what they would do with it is create their own characters and their own universe as such, and it will simply be using the Game of Thrones name to create a story that none of us care about, in kind of the way that the last game did it, except it'll be purely story driven and there'll be no combat. I remain optimistic for this though. I would say that Telltale's very well suited to this kind of style, and it's not Borderlands. It's not taking a game that's already been a good game and screwing it up to the point of no return, but this is taking, in fact, a book and a show and making it into so much more, because an interactive Game of Thrones game that you get to immerse yourself even further in as a character inside Game of Thrones, even if you're just watching it as though it's a film and you're just pressing buttons between it's going to be fantastic. I welcome any addition to the Game of Thrones franchise in this fashion, and I say that everyone should go out and pick this up when it comes out, because it's potentially going to be absolutely fantastic, and I give it my full support up until it comes out, and when it does come out, I'll post a review about it, so subscribe to the channel if you want to see that, because that's certainly coming. I will be buying this game, and I look forward to it. Anyway, don't forget to rate, favourite, comment, and subscribe, and as always, thank you for supporting the Open Games Network. And as a last thought, I'd like to invite you to share this with at least one of your friends that might be interested, because I'm trying to grow the channel, and I rely on you guys to do this, because only so many people are going to come through YouTube to view my stuff, because only so many people will get to see it. So the more we get to grow this channel, the more I get to put out content, and the more will get seen, the better the content will be, and the more regularly I'll be able to post. So if you like my content, that is worth doing, and I would hope that you would do that. I just want to say thanks to anyone that does that, and good luck to Telltale on Game of Thrones. I think it's going to be fantastic, and let's all look forward to it together. Cheers, guys.